Before Time, the time of great giving. Once again, the narrator tells a story about how things came to be and how dinosaurs started walking on the land, then they jumped back in the water, and it's the first time I've seen a Brachiosaurus in the series. Littlefoot and his friends play once again.
Did he get his spot? Did you? Huh? Yep, you got it.
This is one of my favorite Land Before Time movies because it's where you see the kids actually dealing with real life problems other than sharp teeth, like bullies. Hip and his friends, Nod and Mutt, are the new annoyances and antagonists of this story. Judging from the credits, and his name is spelled H-Y-P, I believe he's what you call a hypsilophodont or hypsilophodon. And it's cool to see other types of dinosaurs. I mean, one thing I can give Land Before Time is that they show more dinosaurs from movie to movie than Jurassic Park does.
Your rock? Who said it was your rock? Yeah, who said it was your rock, huh? Who said?
Do you notice that Mutt, the duckbill one, is standing in the middle? Right here, between Hip and Nod? Then when they're waiting for him to say something, all of a sudden, now Hip is in the middle as though they teleported and changed places. And now Mutt, the ugly Frankenstein-looking dinosaur, is now super huge. I do like in this one how Sarah doesn't take any bullshit. Like, she's like, I'm not gonna let you bully me. What are you talking about?
Well, gee, no one. We were just playing with it. So give it back, Hip.
But I didn't hear you say please.
That's because I didn't.
Yo, I love Sarah so much. Oh my god, she's my favorite character. She's also my best imaginary friend because Sarah is a freaking G. Sarah does not like people, especially in my universe with my stories. She does not like people. She actually is a bully quite often to newer people and wants them to basically prove themselves, and they have to earn her respect. But once you've earned Sarah's respect, she is the most loyal friend you'll ever find. She will fight for you.
It's a...
Why does the screen look like that? Interesting. No, I did widen this shot or widen the screen so that you wouldn't just have the big old black bars on the sides. But this is what it actually looks like with that weird ass curve on the bottom. I guess because people used to watch this on bubble TVs back then.
Rocks fly?
All the kids are running for their lives because of these flying rocks. And this scene right here is very reminiscent of the first Land Before Time. I think it's actually a callback to that when the Great Earthshake was happening and everybody got separated.
Fly, children, fly! Run!
That's the same music that was used, except everyone talks now and it's very annoying. This part was cracking me the hell up because Littlefoot goes back home to his grandparents. Everybody's going back to their family to make sure they're okay. And a tree falls. Now, these are two huge sauropods. One of the trees fall over, and instead of protecting Littlefoot, they jump out of the way so it can fall and smush him. Y'all are two big-ass dinosaurs who could easily hold up that tree. The tree's not falling from out of the heavens. It's just falling over. You yourselves caused trees to fall over, and you couldn't go in the way to prevent it from falling on Littlefoot. He was lucky that he was alive. It's just so hilarious the way it pans out.
Look out!
Okay, come on. Okay. Looking back at the tree is freaking huge. But the both of you couldn't hold it. Take one for the team. I guess they were like, you know what? If we lose Littlefoot, it is what it is. But we're not freaking sacrificing ourselves for our only grandson, the last of our freaking line. This is terrible.
I'm in here, Grandma.
How the hell did you end up in... Okay.
Are you all right, little one?
Thanks, bitch, for asking. Now you're concerned? I see what y'all did. I mean, straight up leapt out of the way. Like, you know what? It's your fault, Littlefoot. You didn't see it coming. It's all you, buddy. Circle of life and all that jazz. Don't know why Littlefoot chose that hiding spot instead of going left to, like, somewhere else, but I can imagine what's running through his mind right now. Probably thinking, shit, I really am on my own. My mother literally gave up her life to protect me, put her life in danger several times, and this is who she left me with to protect me. Magnetosphere's on fire, and the next day everybody forgets about what happens. They're safe, they're okay, they're at the Thundering Falls, this huge waterfall area, and they're all drinking. Littlefoot's swimming and having fun, and I honestly like this whole scene because it allows you to see the dinosaurs in their natural habitat, like how things might have been if they were just chilling out there. And that's how I like to write my stories with Littlefoot and his friends. Just them chilling, just them having weird interactions and issues and stuff like that when they're at home. Not everything's about sharp teeth, but sharp teeth are fun too. So he's swimming along, and Littlefoot's a little asshole. You think he's all innocent and stuff. He's swimming and having a good time, and then this fish is just sitting there, and he's like, I'm gonna blow in your face and scare you.
Huh?
Right there and then, he hears... Sorry, I'm remembering something. He hears something horrible. It is a sound of silence. Imagine if you're in a waterfall and all of a sudden it stops. And you're like, wait, Niagara Falls just stops. I'm sure that would freak everyone out. But the reason why it's hilarious is because it reminds me of this clip with this girl and her horse and the fan is going.
Silence.
What?
Everyone's freaked out because I think everyone's freaked out because of the water, and this is the first time, like, looking back at this, I don't recognize certain things. I've watched this movie like, what, 20-something times? And I'm now looking back at it for how long ago it's been, and I just now noticed this scene, and when I heard the voice, I had to keep replaying it like 12 times because I was so confused. Because I'm like, wait a minute. I'm sorry. As far as I know, this is Sarah's father with the dark circles on his eyes. That right there has to be Sarah's mom. I'm guessing these are Sarah's sisters or Sarah and another of her ugly ass sisters. But then when I hear the Triceratops on the left, then when I hear the Triceratops on the left, you should see my face. I was so flipping confused.
How can that be? How can that be? How can that be?
Bitch, what? I know Sarah's mother can't sound like that. That is a dude. Okay, so either the one on the right is the mother and the one on the left is the father, and this is a totally different family, or there's some shit that's about to change everything I knew about life before time.
Grandpa, why did the Thundering Falls stop?
Littlefoot, take a good look into my eyes. Does it look like I know, you stupid dumb piece of shit? Or me, that's too harsh. No, I mean, he needs to start learning some common sense.
Stop.
Yo, I don't know what's wrong with me today. Oh my god, everything's just so much fun here. Anyways, they tell Littlefoot that he needs to go play, and he's like, gladly, thank God, I'm out of here. And then they all start arguing, trying to figure out what's going on. Half of the movie is the grown-ups arguing, and apparently, as you get older, in dinosaur years, your intelligence kind of escapes you for some reason. Littlefoot runs into his friends and tries to tell them. Now, I'm expecting Sarah to be back there, but no, they've been playing with Sarah the whole time, so those bitches we saw back there were not Sarah. Littlefoot tries telling his friends several times and has like some severe ADHD where he can't just come out and say what he's saying.
Boo! I scared you, I did.
You no scare me, Sarah. Me unscarable.
God damn it, I can't stand Petrie. I can't stand him. Like, the whole thing would be great if he wasn't there. Why is the only dinosaur, or why is the only creature, flying reptile that looks like a freaking bird, have to sound like a parrot and steroids? The only times I liked Petrie was when he was actually serious and mad at something. Because that's the most relatable that he becomes. Other than that, he's just a caricature of himself.
Me unscarable.
Petrie, you're hurting my nose.
Excuse me, bitch. Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? From what I can see, Littlefoot, your nose is between your freaking eyes. That's your mouth, bro. Whatever.
Tell you something. Well, hurry it up. We want to play. I saw... hey!
Oh my God, just say what you're gonna say. God, I hate when people in movies do this. I know this is a long time ago. I love this movie, but I have to shit on it sometimes. It's why I love it. You shit on things that you like. Your toilet seat's great. You like that, right? You shouldn't, never mind. Just say what you're gonna say. Just say what you're gonna say. While he's walking away, he's a village idiot. Apparently can't say retard anymore. So he's the village idiot. It's not his fault, but you know what it is. I don't think that he's integral to the conversation. Tell them and then they can tell him. You could have saved everyone so much trouble if you just come out and just say it. Precious time is wasting, apparently. It takes Sarah to put Littlefoot back on track and ask him what he was gonna say. And he lets him know that the Thundering Falls isn't giving them any more water, that they should come and see. And then these dumbass bullies show up. And at this point, remember when I watched this for the first time? This is the point where they got super annoying.
Oh, just what were you gonna say, Littlefoot? It's the Thundering Falls. It's not giving us any water. You gotta come see.
Why don't you hatchlings go run and see? Yeah, run and see, run and see.
Oh, yeah.
What are they, the Three Stooges? I've never watched the Three Stooges, but I know that one goes whoop, 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 like Jabberjaw, and I'm getting some vibes from that. Because I think one of them was like incredibly stupid, and one was like incredibly aggressive, and the middle one just followed the first one. Hasn't that been done to death already?
Try and make us.
Yes, Sarah! Thank you! Yes! And then Ducky has to come with her bitch ass and be like, Sarah, no! Don't! Why? You doing that is making them want to bully you more because you're not standing up for yourself. Thank you for keeping Sarah true to her character, because she is not taking any of that shit. Also, this scene, I never understood it till now because I didn't know what the frick he was talking about, and I thought he was talking about Sarah, Ducky, Petrie, and Spike, but apparently he was talking about their tongues.
Put those away.
Okay. Do they have him sitting on one of them like a horse while the other one is holding the shade over him? Grief, man. So Littlefoot legitimately asks Hip, like, dude, what is your issue? Why do you want to fight all the time? That's the only thing you ever want to do. Freaking Ghetto ass. Wait till I'm freaking bigger and I'll come over and try it. I wish you would.
Yeah, fight. Ow, fighting hurt.
Petrie, shut the fuck up. And then Hip and his friends start talking about why they bully people, because they're big and they can do anything they want to do.
Are better when you're big. When you're big.
Then that awkward part happens. Have you ever seen them sing along and then there's this big grand closing and then they just act like nothing happened? What are they, in church? What the frick is he doing? I do like the riff of the song, though. I remember listening to these songs. I actually liked a lot of the Land Before Time songs. It's so corny looking back at it now, but the songs freaking slap, though.
What you want, you get. Things are bad.
That was a nice riff right there. What you want, you get. That is freaking amazing. Man, that was so freaking nice. I never really appreciated the song as one of the top 10 songs or top 5. I can't remember. I made a top list at one point. But I actually like this. Looking back at this, I can appreciate the melody. I can appreciate the song, the instrumentals. Freaking awesome, man. They need to remake this. So like I said, the awkwardness of the song ending, and then Littlefoot drops this freaking bomb diss on Hip, which is so freaking savage. Littlefoot, the way he says it, it's like when little kids say something out of turn that they're not supposed to say, like, but mommy, you are fat, you know, or something crazy, and then the parents are like, whoa. That's the way Littlefoot delivered this line, and it was great.
But Hip, when you're all grown up, you won't be very big at all.
Emotional, damn it!
Then they start gloating, and then Hip has nothing to say. As far as we're concerned, this is supposed to be a grown Hypsilophodon, which is what Hip is, which is a little bigger than the size of a dog, really. That's so embarrassing. Knowing he doesn't have a leg to stand on, his only excuse is, well, I'm gonna make sure you never grow up. And when his friends ask how he's gonna do that, he's like, well, we're gonna catch him and then we herd him first. I'm guessing they wanted to put in, we're gonna kill him, but that would be a little bit too much for a kid's movie. Yeah, but serious sociopathic tendencies here. Gourmet Littlefoot's grandfather is like, look, our valley's drying up and we have only a little bit of water. We have to ration the water. Then Mario Tops is like, your kind does this because we all know he's the racist of the Great Valley. He's all like, my Sarah would never race. This your Sarah? Littlefoot still hasn't really told his friends the real severity of the issue because he probably doesn't even know himself. Then while they're having fun, the stupid freaking bullies are there again, once more. Everyone is so tired of them now, like it's getting annoying. Hit pushes his friend Nod over and he falls straight on Littlefoot. This part is so dumb because Littlefoot literally cries out, "Run," and then just stands there like a freaking idiot.
Be my guest. Nod. Ah!
Bitch, you run! Why were you still there, my guy? You just told everybody else to run. If you have it in you to understand that you need to run, but you yourself do not run, you are not the ones who are going to be chosen for survival. Like, I don't understand how you're still alive at this point. Daddy Tops is splashed on, and I swear several times throughout this movie, they use the same laugh tracks over and over again, which is like, really? Okay, this is only a few seconds long. You can't have someone straight up laugh naturally for 16 seconds? Why do you have to play a 3-second clip on repeat?
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
That's 3 times now they use that laugh clip in the background. You can hear it. Then, in the beginning, before, with Sarah and Littlefoot playing, she's laughing as Littlefoot chases her as they're pretending to be the bullies. And they do the same thing with her laugh. I hate when movies do that. Littlefoot's the only one they see in the water, so they automatically think it's him who's leading the others to be wasteful. Daddy Tops accuses Gourmet of his Littlefoot being a bad influence, and his racist tendencies come out again, and he forbids his daughter from playing with Littlefoot.
Come, Sarah. You're not to play with the little Longneck anymore.
But Daddy!
My friend, I think you're acting rashly.
If only I had hands, I would take those horns off your face and shove them down your eyes. Grandpa!
Jesus Christ.
Mr. Tops yells at Sarah, saying that he is her father and he wants what's best for her, and she needs to come and listen and get her ass over here. Ducky is like, "It is okay, Littlefoot. You are not a bad influence, whatever that means." Nope, nope, nope. All the other parents call their children away from Littlefoot. Littlefoot asks his grandfather what the frick is going on. I don't know, Littlefoot. You a bitch, that's what's going on. I told you not to play in the water. Stop it. This is the first time out of all the Land Before Time movies that I had seen Sarah interact with her father away from everybody else. Like, not just when she was born, but actually having a conversation, a daddy-daughter conversation with her father. And I remember having a similar type of interaction with my dad when he really was looking out for me, but I was in that stage where I was like, "No, Daddy, but I love him." And my dad was like, "I'm a guy. You don't understand how guys work." And I'm like, "No, Dad, you're wrong." Newsflash, spoiler, he wasn't wrong. He was right.
Need friends who know how to behave, especially in times like this.
Littlefoot is my friend. He'll always be my friend.
Sarah, I'm your father. I want what's best for you.
No, you don't. You just don't want me to have any fun.
And I feel so bad for Mr. Tops because he legitimately looks like he doesn't know what to do. He's just... He's like, "God damn it, this freaking bitch. Like, why do I have to have girl children? What is wrong with you? I'm trying my best here."
Sarah, please. I'm just trying to... Oh, as a parent,
Daddy!
You nasty.
Meanwhile, everyone tries to get along. Littlefoot's grandparents wake him up early so he can drink the dew. By this time, the leaves are all drying up because there's no water. His grandfather tells him, "There you go, Littlefoot. Here's some water to drink that's collected on the leaves." And tell me why my person decides that this is the new way to drink water.
I think you'll find it delicious.
Who drinks water like this? Yo, who drinks water like that? I never drinks water like that in the past. What? What the fuck? Oh my god. Yo, I can't. I can't. Oh my god. Oh shit, I'm losing brain cells so bad. Why would you smash your face in the water? Oh my god, I'm so done right now. I can't even understand what the logic was for doing that. Like, maybe you could argue he's half asleep. He thinks he's in a lake. Oh god. You just licked your lips. We see how you drink water in the past. There is no point in any of the previous movies where I've seen Littlefoot drink water like that when he's thirsty. But then he does. He's gonna freaking napalm his face to the ground in order to drink a sip of water. God damn.
Oops. It broke.
You sure your face didn't break too, bitch? Instead of his grandparents being like, well, you know, survival of the fittest, and clearly you're not in a fit position to survive, they're like, oh, it's fine, honey. Like, what? What if you're not around? This is what you have going out into the world to keep your line going? You need to strangle his neck or tighten a knot and tell him that he shouldn't be wasting precious water, that he needs to be serious if he's going to survive. Because what he pulled back there is what's going to end their entire lineage. Seriously, sometimes I don't know how he's still alive.
Water will get harder and harder to find.
Mermaid trying to be all subtle. So Sarah's dad decides to be the one who watches over the water. He understands what's coming. The leaves are so dry they taste disgusting. I hope they never do this again. I don't remember if they ever do it again, but it's very annoying, and the first time I saw it, I did not like it. Littlefoot breaks the fourth wall by looking at us, and I wanted to slap his screen back into his dimension so he forgets that we're here, because this is not it. Don't do that. We're not on PBS. What are you looking at? He says the leaves taste horrible, and his grandparents get him some greener leaves because he's a growing boy. He asks them if they want any, and they say no, it's fine. And he's like, all right, deuces. He enjoys it, and now he's like, I'm freaking thirsty now. And then here's the part I don't understand. I understand where they're coming from, but I thought they all made an agreement that everybody is supposed to drink at a certain time. But Gourmet says, well, I didn't think that it pertained to the children. I think it was just for the adults, because, you know, the children don't drink water. So they go to the watering hole, and the Triceratops, Sarah's dad, is like, where in hell you think you're going? And they're like, yeah, you know. And his grandparents try to be all slick with it. I see what they tried to do.
It's not your time to drink, long necks.
What do you mean, not our time?
Gourmet's trying to be all smart here. When in the previous scene, when Littlefoot was asking them when their time was to drink, they said, when the bright circle touches some hill out in the distance or whatever, that's their time. So basically near the evening time. They know what time it is. Why is he acting like he forgot?
Birds must take turns drinking at the watering hole.
Yes, we all agreed, but I didn't think that it included the children. It really isn't fair to them.
There is no fair when it comes to survival.
Okay, and then he starts his song. And honestly, I love Daddy Tops' song. I love Sarah's father. He is a funny-ass character in my story. I mean, he's not funny, but his character makes you laugh because he's so, well, him. And then he breaks into song, as we do. And this is the most character development we've got from him. That's why I was on Twitter and I posted that. I know you probably were wondering, like, why is she posting all these Land Before Time clips? It's because I was in the middle of watching it, and it was really cool. There's one part where he talks about his past, and that explains why he is the way he is. And you could have made a whole other spin-off about this. Here he goes.
I used to hear my father say, stand and fight, don't run away.
And he basically says his father made him what he is today. He says, I'm here and I'm tough. And it makes you just that little bit is so beautiful. And then he adds in that I know that you guys are sad because there's no water and you think I'm mean and why bother? It's because I'm a father and I have a daughter. He's leading by example. Mr. Tops is actually a very good leader. He's stern and he's strict and it seems unfair, but he also has a kid that he's not allowing to drink the water either. After he finishes his song, Sarah calls him over and she's sick and tired of it. You can tell she really loves and respects her dad, but she's tired of the grown-ups fighting. Damn, Sarah, you need to see a dentist. That's gonna be my thumbnail. I like that. Sarah, pose right there. Stay right there. Yeah. Click. Man, that is a munch if I ever saw one. Then they get the bright idea, you know, that nobody else ever thought. Let's find water. Because it never occurred to any of the grown-ups to do that. Especially considering that these guys weren't born in the Great Valley. They all migrated from the wild, like the wild, where there were sharp teeth everywhere, where they had to sniff out water to find their food. It never once occurred to any of those wise and seasoned grown-ups that we should go sniff out for more water. Like, okay. So after their little meeting at night with Sarah, Ducky, Petrie, Spike, and Littlefoot, they decide to try and fix things. And then the next morning, we see Mario Tops, that's what I call him, Mario, setting the story straight, because let's not kid ourselves, he can easily off any one of these dinosaurs in the Great Valley. And it makes you see how scary this guy is. Like, Mario Tops doesn't play, he's an OG.
Get the fuck out of here!
Apparently, with the bags under their eyes is any indication, Littlefoot and his friends have been up all night, saying they're all sniffed out. They smell water, but they can't see water. And then they hear a fish. They found water. While they find the water, Hip also finds them and threatens them that if they don't get out of his watering hole, they're gonna be very sorry. If they tell anybody about the water, they're gonna be sorry. Littlefoot says he's telling. So they run away from Hip and his friends. Sarah catches herself for a moment. She's like, why the frick am I running? I'm not afraid of them. But her friends pull her away because if she gets caught up in whatever this is, then I don't know. Because I mean, they could beat her up if they all ganged upon her, to tell you the truth. She would be a good distraction, but her friends don't want anything happening to her. Then they run across this tree and they all end up falling. Then they realize they're near the mysterious beyond, or they're in the mysterious beyond. And in the mysterious beyond, they see a whole bunch of water. There's this big crater where that huge meteor had crashed in the beginning of the movie. And as a result of the earth shifting, all this water got backlogged in the mysterious beyond. Possibly their water that's supposed to flow down their thundering falls. Oh no, what are they gonna do? Now we get the Bambi segments. Because of how dry the leaves are in trees, it is so easy to start a fire, and the fire ravages right back through the Great Valley.
That's enough. You've had your share for today.
The three-horn is getting far too bossy.
I agree.
Excuse me, Miss Muppet and Mr. Muppet, weren't you the ones who were the people who decided that everyone should ration stuff? If you were in charge, you would have been doing the exact same thing. And if you would not have been, you shouldn't be in charge. Yeah, he's a little bit bullish, but he's doing what he's supposed to do.
You shouldn't be talking. You're not one of us.
Littlefoot runs back to his grandparents and tells them about the fire, because for some reason, everybody can't tell that there's smoke, even though it's like sky high and the most noticeable thing in the sky. Now everyone's goose is cooked. They look hilarious. Littlefoot's grandparents already have a fire escape route in case something like this were to happen in the Great Valley. But the three-horn says he knows better.
Do as you will, Longneck, but Sarah and I go this way.
Sarah goes with her father begrudgingly. It is her dad. After Littlefoot pleads, Gourmet decides to go after them. Well, he was going to go after them anyway. See, they're going downwind of the fire, and you're never going to catch up with them going at that speed. I mean, you can't walk faster than that. It's okay, because in every movie, they are this freaking slow, but somehow they always manage to get where they're going, like those horror movie villains that walk even though you're running like Usain Bolt, and they still are right behind you. Meanwhile, Littlefoot's grandma asks Littlefoot to come along so they can go on their way out. Everywhere Sarah's dad and Sarah go, they are trapped by the fire. It's so sweet, because at one point Sarah falls and her dad legitimately sounds worried.
Sarah!
You can tell he really loves his daughter. In my story, Sarah's mom and dad got divorced because differences in opinion or whatever. We don't really know the whole backstory for that. It is bled through a little bit, but he does become a bit overbearing and his mother was just tired of it. And she has an older sister named Trisha, and Trisha moved away from home because of the same reason. Mr. Tops is a good dad, he's just a little bit much. Unfortunately, Migor, Littlefoot's grandmother, can't see because the smoke is so thick, so Littlefoot leads the way with his voice. Sarah's dad thinks they're dead when they're trapped by the fire, but there's Gourmet to save the day.
Hurry, Sarah!
Whoa, 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 hold up a chicken twisting second. What? Are my eyes deceiving me, my friend? Okay, so we are trotting. We are trotting at very fast speeds, I see. What happened? Now you weigh as light as a cloud? What happened happened to all those other times when there were emergencies happening and your grandson and others were at risk of dying and you couldn't move faster than freaking DSL? What is happening right here? Why am I seeing this? Look at how he's trotting like a dressage horse. That's not even the best part about it. He freaking leaps over a freaking
Emotional.
Let us never forget the day when Littlefoot's old-ass grandfather that apparently couldn't move only seconds ago, like a dressage horse, was floating on air and leapt over a freaking tree. Everyone is reunited. Migor's happy that Gourmet's okay. Mr. Tops feels bad because everything is lost, but they remind him that he has Sarah and that he's still here to take care of her, his one and only daughter. But they're like, no, he's right. Our valley is doomed. Look at it. It's horrible. This is when Littlefoot and his friends remember about the water, and they're like, look, the water's stuck. Hip and his friends overhear this, and they decide to go to the Mysterious Beyond so they can get the water before everybody else. Littlefoot wants to help them, because I probably would want to as well, but Sarah's like, nah. And that's when he starts singing a song that I remember every single lyric to.
That they're just kids. Kids like us.
My favorite part. Love the song. I sang it all the time. I repeated it like 50 times. And after so many years, I was actually legitimately shocked that I knew the whole lyrics. Hip and his friends reach the Mysterious Beyond. They see a watering hole and Hip dives in. Unfortunately, he starts sinking and starts calling for help because his friends do jack all. Littlefoot tells him to stop moving or else he'll sink faster. Honestly, Petrie has one hell of a grip because I don't know why they would put him at the end of the pulling line. You know, being as he's the most fragile one, wouldn't they pop his sockets out pulling him like this? Like, it's just weird. His fingers and toes are literally stick figures. I just never understood that. But oh well, I guess he's the only one that can reach him, even though if they go to the other side, they would be closer to Hip. But we know these kids aren't the smartest, but they try to save him and they end up saving him. Hip is all proud and he's like, I never need your help. And you could tell he tries to give in a little bit because the kids are like, look, you do need help sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. No matter how big you get, you'll always need help. And then he sees the grown-ups and he sees his father. This is the only time we see him make this old man face. It's when he sees his pops. The dad pulls him out and starts screaming at him in that Walking Dead redneck type of way because he reminds me of Daryl's brother. I don't know why.
Don't look at me that way. I'm your father and I know what's best for you.
And then we see Sarah's dad feeling bad because he's like, man, that's how I yell at my daughter. Oh dear. He tells him that yelling is not the best way to convey what you want. Like, he yells at his daughter too much. Like, sometimes it's warranted, but he yells at his daughter way too much. And if you always react in anger, that's all your child will ever know. So instead of having the obvious reactionary natural way of reacting, which is shut the hell up and mind your own business, he feels bad all of a sudden. Then shit gets real and a whole bunch of Jurassic Park raptors start chasing them. The girls try to defend the kids, but these raptors are intent on killing them. Hip's father had ushered the kids to safety and he was trying to get them away from the raptors. And while the girls were fighting with them, they fell down to their deaths, but they're totally okay. So sad just watching them lie there like plush toys. I do want a plush toy of this though. It looks awesome. Honestly, this is one of my favorite scenes of the movie because Hip's father is a badass. He really does remind me of Daryl's brother. I have to remember, what is his name? Frickin' Yondu. You know who I'm talking about. He reminds me of Yondu. The way he acts, like he's all firm and strict, but then when it really comes down to it, he's a great father figure.
Let's get to the top of that dam where it's safer.
That part was so amazing. Look at Hip's face. That's the first time I've actually seen him like legitimately scared for somebody else. He really does love his dad. And his friends are like, oh, your dad's such an idiot. He's such a loser. Look at him risking his neck. And he's like, he's not. He yells at them and says that his dad is not. And he goes to help protect his father. By then, all the grown-ups wake up at exactly the same time. They dislodge the rock with Hip's friends and his help. And these are all the piles of rocks that are preventing the water from going out to the Great Valley. Them doing all of that activity actually dislodges the rocks that were blocking the water, and the powerful water comes crashing through. They got water again, and the raptors are washed away. The water outs the fires in the Great Valley, and it made me think, if the water came from the Mysterious Beyond and is tied to the waterfall, if a T-Rex slips and falls down that waterfall, won't it end up in the Great Valley? Like, isn't that a great sure way to get in there? I'm sure no dinosaur would volunteer going that way because they could break their neck, but still, everyone's all happy and the bullies are happy. Spike licks them. The falls are back. But when they go back to the Great Valley, it looks all burned up. But I'm thinking, looking at this, looks like most of the Great Valley is okay. Those trees in the distance are all green. But they make it seem later like it's hard to find green food. Green food is everywhere. Hello? Do you look at this pan? Look at those green trees in the back up the sides of the mountain. Those are all trees. Those aren't just little tiny bushes. They're trees. Look at all of those green trees. But they're like, we had to spread out to try and find where there was still green leaves. Then they say they found one spot, which was a little canyon. And I'm thinking to myself, there are lots of trees. Let's do that again, shall we? Check out the pan of green trees all the way down to the end of where those mountains are. Oh my goodness gracious, are these dinosaurs freaking stupid. They call this time the time of the great giving because everyone learns to share. God forbid you walk a few more miles so you can get the actual green trees. And they all lived happily ever freaking after. Now they don't have to worry about water anymore for a while. I mean, seriously, it's not that serious. It's the equivalent of starting a fire in the corner of your kitchen, but it never gets any further than that. And then saying you don't have a house and you have to like search now on Zillow for a new home. Well, that was Land Before Time 3, one of my favorite Land Before Time movies. All the others after this, after the one with Allie, get a little bit weird, and there are still some, surprisingly, that I haven't watched straight through. So I'll be getting to those later. As for the piece I was making, it's called Beast in the Bayou. The environment is something I took from inspiration from another landscape art piece, and I decided to add to it by making my lily pads different, making it more soothing and haunting, and putting a beast in the reeds. This is a creature that has become adept at coming out only at night and staying away from the eyes of other species like humans. There's a whole bunch of myths surrounding this beast, but it's so easily out in the open and so easy to be mistaken for a piece of vegetation that many times it can hide in plain sight. If there ever are sightings, most of them occur when the moon is full. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Alteori. You ask, we answer.